All right, so we just finished our morning walk and it went really well. The weather is like perfect. We love this overcast autumn sort of weather. It's been very lovely. We picked up some leaves for an art project that we're doing a little bit later today. And now the kids are just playing outside while I am drinking my coffee. I'm reading a book and we're just resetting. Now, during our walk, we started talking about our five senses and the importance of the sense of touch. And then when we got back to the house, we did go around to our trees and we did project loading tree activity number 2, where you cover your eyes and you feel the tree, the bark, the branch, the textures, leaves. And we also kind of then also added a little bit of hearing to it, like how did it feel when we touched them, or how did it sound when we touched them. So that was really enjoyable. We're gonna let them play a little bit longer while we kind of kickstart our day, and then we will go inside and move on to the next thing. Okay, so we came inside, we did a little bit of a potty break, and now we did our handwriting. So from our Writing for Learning series, we did just one page today. We worked on backward circles. So we can see we're kind of refining a little bit of our writing. And then we did our consonant pretest from Explode the Code 1. So he did ask if I could correct it. He got 19 out of 20 correct. He wasn't sure what this was, so he took a guess and he didn't guess it correct, and that is a-okay, but he did really well. And we just reviewed that sound, the W, but he picked the pen, he happened to pick red, and yeah, went really well. So they are playing very briefly right now. We're gonna do some French, and then he did ask if we could do some coding. So we're gonna do some coding.org, the code.org. We're on lesson 3, I believe. So we're gonna do, it's programming with Angry Birds today. So we're gonna do some programming as well. And then you'll need to put in which direction it's going.
That way. Hope this works.
Uh-oh, he went down. It says keep coding, something's not quite right. So right now we're trying to get him to go down 3 times. So go ahead and let's try to fix it. So move that south. Okay, now what are we trying to have him do? Yes, that is correct. So after he goes 3 steps to the right, then what do we do? Excellent. So hit that little, that purple, it says reset, and then run again.
Finally, I got that one.
Let's look. Okay, so we just finished our French and we did our coding.org. We did add in some extra French language together books. We listened to 3 of them. So now we're taking a little bit of a play break. I'm getting their snack ready. And during our snack, I have every intention of us reading. Let's see how that goes. Okay, we did it. We had our snack. We read chapter 12 and 13 from the very far north. We also listened a little bit to The Dragon King, and this is I don't remember which book number, but it's a book number, one of the books from the Magic Tree House series, and my kids really enjoy that. So we listened to that for a little bit. They are now playing, and then after they're done playing, I think we are going to do either our reading or our math. I haven't decided yet, so I'll check in with you once we're done with our play break. And while they're playing, I'm going to go ahead and get some of my steps in and probably call my mom for a quick chat. All right, it is a couple of hours later. After our play break, we actually ended up doing math. So my preschooler was on Moose Math, which is a Khan Academy Kids app. So he was on the tablet while we did lesson 10 through Saxon Math K with my kindergartner. And then we also started in Matthew C. Primer. We did the first video for chapter 17, and he did 17A, which is skip counting by 2s, and he also did 17B. So he did pretty well, actually. He had some really good focus today with his math. So after he did Primer, he then did Moose Math on the tablet Well, I sat down with Preschooler and we did all of Preschooler's work. So we did a game, we slapped some sounds, we went through the alphabet, and I will actually link below. There's a channel called Toddlers Learn to Read, I think. I'll link it down below, but he has this really cool game where you slide alphabet cards, you say the sound, and they're trying to slap the corresponding letter before it gets to them. So we played that game today where I was the one making the sounds and he identified them. We then did our Hooked on Phonics. We did our letter K today. So we specifically went over the K sound. We practiced tracing Ks. We did the whole little ketchup. We used a little dollop of ketchup and we traced a K, which was nice and messy. And then we did our math with him. And we were working in mathematical reasoning beginning 2. We did page 6 through page 9. So only a couple of pages. And total, we spent about 15 minutes with my preschooler. After that, we did do just free play for a little bit. And then we did eventually get a little hungry. Oh, no, I forgot something. With my preschooler, we also did a couple of pages from the Skill Sharpeners Science from the pre-K level. This was not on my radar to do with my preschooler at all, but he is at the right level for it. And I have so many workbooks that I'm like, it's good to kind of just work through. So we did a couple of our colors, which he does fine with. So it's like just a small, very, very brief, but still about 15 minutes total on that front. And then we ended up having a snack, or our lunch, not our snack, lunch. And for lunch today, we read our Book Shark poem, which was 1 page from here. They were lovely, and they're about rain. And my kids asked me to read it twice, so I read it twice, and that was fun. We then did our Jacob's Ladder reading comprehension. So today we did the 4th book in here. It's called Kitten's First Full Moon. And we did this discussion question from the C1 ladder. And then the last thing that we did during lunch is we just reviewed our week 3 from our Studies Weekly Health and Wellness magazine. So we reread it. We had a couple of discussion points. And after that, we played, and then we went to his piano lesson. So, and then we ran some errands. So after his piano, we ran errands. Now we're home. It's dinner time. We are going to, because we end up running some errands, we will probably do his reading lesson, a brief reading lesson after dinner, and then we're just going to do family play and relax and probably play a little bit outside before showers and bed. All right, we'll touch base in a little bit. Okay, we are here. It's the end of the day. The kids are asleep. It is a little bit past 8 and they've been in bed since about 7:15, so that's good. I thought I would wrap up today by just sharing with you what we did for the rest of the day and and just kind of go from there. So we did read a lot of books throughout the day today, and I wanted to share them with you. We read Every Night at Midnight. You will, by the way, notice a little theme. My kids are really into Halloween stories right now. They read Mr. Shiver Beneath the Bed and Other Stories. This one we definitely don't read near bedtime. I find them to be particularly strange, but my kids really like them for whatever reason right now. They read Spooky Old Tree from the Berenstain Bears beginner books. We did Fred and Ted Go Camping from this big purple book of beginner books. We also read today Cool Down and Work Through Anger. And actually what we did near the end of the day is we read the list of cool down activities or cool down strategies that are in the back of this book. And what we ended up doing is we chose a few that we wanted to do as well. So I'll go over those activities next. We only have a couple more books. We read Kitten's First Full Moon, and then we also read 3 books from the Language Together sets. I think all 3 of them are from set 1. Yeah. So we covered introductions, colors, and numbers today. And I don't know if I really mentioned it with my French update, but our French today was primarily review from what we've already covered. So no new French, primarily review. Now we did also make progress in our chapter book. So we did the very, very far north. We actually only have the final chapter and the conclusion. So we will hopefully finish this tomorrow. And my kids were really into audiobooks today. So we actually read listened to 1.5 audiobooks. We finished both though. And that is the 14th book in the Magic Treehouse series. We have Day of the Dragon King, and then the 15th one we started and finished today, and it's called Viking Ships at Sunrise. And my kids just really love these books. And we've actually already started the 16th one, which is about the Olympics, but we haven't gotten very far in that one yet. Now, cool down strategies, we decided to take a cool down walk this evening. So as a family, we went for a very brief walk outside, spent a little bit of time outdoors, which was nice. We decided to do a little bit of painting. So this was my my kindergartners. It's one of those magic art books where the paint is actually embedded inside the page or on the page. So you just use water and it brings the colors out, which was nice. And then we tried something entirely new, which we really liked, and we created a sensory galaxy jar. So it is not ready for us to shake yet, but tomorrow we will be able to shake it, and hopefully, if everything goes well, the glitter will swirl. So it's filled up with a little bit of water and some soap. You can actually see where it kind of separates. We have the water here at the top, the soap, and the glitter on the bottom, and you shake it and it's supposed to like swirl and twirl. But we're waiting for the glue to dry. It's like an industrial glue. So that was it. The only thing I want to point out are things that we didn't get done today. So when I plan, I do tend to plan for ideal situations, and we didn't hit absolutely everything, which is totally fine. This was a really full day. We did a lot, and I'm very proud of my kids, but we didn't do everything planned. So we did not get to phonics, which I think is like my biggest bummer because I really do try to get to phonics. But originally we planned all about reading lesson 12 from the level 1 book, and we had like a tile game and a bingo game. We were supposed to do that today, and we just didn't get around to it. The other thing that we didn't do is our Building Foundations of Scientific Understanding. We had planned for our B2 lesson part 2 to go through today, but we actually pivoted instead, and we did that project learning tree activity 2 instead, just because the day was great. So we did part of that outdoors, and then we did like this mystery box inside where we had parts from trees and nature, and they touched it and they had to kind of guess what it is and describe it. So we kind of pivoted our science, but we didn't do what was planned. We also did not do any of our planned social studies. So we did not do Build Your Library, and we also did not do Core Knowledge, History, and Geography, their Canada section from chapter 3, which I originally planned to finish today. So we didn't do that. We did do our piano lesson, but we didn't do our piano practice at home. Oh well. And then the last thing that we didn't do is I put on the list a game from that Anger book. They have a game that they recommend in here that says it's like cool cards or something like that. I didn't prepare it, and we just didn't get around to it. But, you know, for the most part, you guys, this was a really good day. Very full, no complaints. Tomorrow, we will kind of go through something similar and hopefully fill in some of those gaps. So like I would probably prioritize reading, for example, before I do some of the other subjects for sure. And Build Your Library, I'll do earlier in the day. All right, that was it, you guys. Thank you so much for sticking around. Comment down below, let me know what you think, and we will talk soon. You guys have a good day. Bye, everyone.